Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show here on KOXE. I am Derek Stuckley, along with the head coach of the district champion and now by-district champion Brownwood Lions, Sammy Burnett. How you doing today, Coach?
Well, it couldn't be any better.
Couldn't be any better.
Unless it was 70 and dry.
Well, it's a long way from both of those today. But all right, so coming off a big win over El Paso Irvin, 63-0. I guess let's start with your overall thoughts on the performance.
It was a great opportunity for us to knock some of the rust off from being off from a bye week, and I tend to forget the fact that we had a bye week. So I was sort of frustrated at the start of the game. It didn't seem like we were functioning on all cylinders. Or I say that, we were doing well, but our expectations are to perform at our level and not someone else's. So I thought that we were down a little bit there, and I remembered that we were coming off a bye week. So it didn't take them long to get acclimated and start taking over and just dominated the ball game. El Paso, it wasn't a great team. They were a fourth-place team, and they came out and played hard. They had some good receivers, but we just stymied what they wanted to do and what they were trying to do, and a testament to the coaching staff and the game plan and our kids going out and executing the game plan. And our MO right now is it doesn't matter who we play. It's how we play and what we do. And I've said that before, but we mean it. I can give you a scouting report on Canyon, but the bottom line is this: if the Brownwood Lions take care of the Brownwood Lions, it don't matter who we play. We're going to be fine. We dropped 2 games this year. Both those games were our fault. We gave up points that shouldn't be given up from turnovers or interceptions or fumbles or whatever the situation may be, and we take ownership in that, and we use those 2 losses to learn our lesson, and hopefully it won't happen again. But we feel if we do what we've been coached to do and execute our scheme and go out there, that we're just going to be better than they are. So, Canyon's a team that is 10-1. They know how to win. They've been pushing people around all year, and we're going to take that as a challenge and not let them push us around and try to take control of the game and dominate, take away their will or their hopes to win. And that's what we did against Irvin early. We got out there and got after it. I think we scored 21 points in the first half, and then just sort of took away their will. By halftime, I think it was 42-0. And then came out the third quarter I think with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. They asked to run the clock. That's the first time I experienced that. But, we had a great opportunity to get all of our guys in. Even some of those JV guys that we had moved up got to go out there and get some experience. So I thought that was a blessing for us to be able to do that and for our kids to go out there and just execute and take over the game and say, I'm in control of my future and what happens to me is important. I think they did that, and that's the motto you got to have in the playoffs is, there's no tomorrow. You better go out there and secure what's yours and what you want. Don't let anybody dictate what happens. So I think that's our mindset going into this week. But, it's going to be a fun event.
Of course, the defense has been solid all season long, but no points Thursday. Only give up 58 yards, so it didn't matter ones, twos, JV guys. Everybody played well defensively. Just kind of talk about the performance and kind of the role y'all are on defensively.
Well, defensively, our kids got an attitude. They want to prove to everybody that they're going to be more physical, that we're going to match up with you, and you're not going to outlast us. We're just going to, you may get a play or 2 on us, but we're just going to reset and play the next play. Like I said before, we don't care where the ball is, where you start, it's all about where you finish to us. And they play the next play, and they're going to hit you in the mouth, and they're going to swarm, and they're going to get after it. And those guys that go in behind them, they have a sense of respect, too, for what's going on, and they don't want to give up points themselves. And then you got a group of JV guys that went in there that are playing up with us right now, and they sure didn't want to let the group down. So everyone's holding everybody accountable. Like I said, our kids have worked hard to be in the position that they're at, and they expect to win, and that's what it takes. It starts with a strong work ethic, and I've said it before in the off season. You have to have a strong work ethic, and then it's at that point you feel like you're owed something. Well, we put money in the bank, we put money in the bank, so now we're going on vacation. We're going to start reaching that bank and taking some of that money we put in out and get rewarded for it. So that's what they expect, and that's what they're going to do. So I think their mentality is important. They take pride in who they are. They take pride in what they do and how they play. And I think they'll just go out and exemplify that every Friday.
Offensively, lots of big plays. You started off with a 69-yard touchdown on the very first play of the game. So just kind of talk about the way y'all can either, kind of march it down the field or have the big play option.
Yeah, I think one feeds off the other. If you're running the football and you feel like that you have to load the box to stop the run, it's putting kids on an island And I think when you put kids on an island in the back end, that our receiving core has the ability to get over the top of them or get past the defense anytime they want to, and so that puts pressure on defenses. We threw a simple slant route. We cleared out the back end per se, the deep area, and hit that on a slant underneath it, and then he split them and took it to the end zone for a touchdown. But they got to cover the vertical stuff, and then you hit something underneath it, and then so we have the capability with the kids we have to just what we feel is put people in the bind. If you're going to stack the box and stop the run, then we're going to throw the football. If you loosen up the box and you want to play the pass, then we're going to run the ball on you. A good example of that is Canyon. Canyon's a 3-4 defense with a 4 shell in the back, and they're going to play 2 read, and they're going to play those outside backers hip up out there, and they expect them to play run and pass. And my motto has always been, that linebacker is going to be wrong regardless. I mean, he can't play the run and the pass. They're going to have to dictate what they want to stop, where they want to stop the run and the pass, but we won't let them do both. So that's our MO going into that game. They're good defensively. Their back end's really good. Their corners are really good. Their linebackers are good. Their D-line's good. They move a lot of kids in, but so are we. But I think at some point scheme and technique is going to take over, and I think that'll be on our side. And we got a good game plan going into Canyon for what they do. So
Scored offense, defense, and special teams. Even in close games, if you do that, it's usually going to turn out in your favor. Just your thoughts on scoring every possible way.
Yeah, I mean, we preach it to our kids. You got to win all 3 phases. They've heard it all year. I mean, you've heard it on the post-game show. You've heard it on the radio show. It's because that's what we believe. You got to win all 3 phases of the game. You can't win 2 and suffer in 1. So our special teams are important to us. We broke one against Stephenville, a kickoff return that got called back. We busted a punt return this week. I mean, anytime you can get points off special teams, off of a change of possession special teams is really important. It can just totally change the momentum. In Case had an 80-yard punt return, which was set up well. We had some great blocking that set that up. They worked on that all the time. We also had a couple of blocks that weren't made that that allowed us to score because we didn't block someone in the back when we had an opportunity to do so. So our kids are playing smart there. And then you turn around, you get a pick 6 on defense. I mean, that just takes the wind out of people's sails. So we've scored 14 points, and the offense hadn't been on the field yet. So that's always a big thing. But, I mean, I think they all feed off each other. If we go out there, I'm telling you, if we went out there and it was 4th and 2 from our own 8-yard line and we got stopped, our defense would just run out there and say, we got you back. We'll do whatever needs to be done to keep them out of the end zone. I mean, those kids are playing well for each other in all phases, and they're taking it serious. And when it's their time to step on the field, it is serious to them. They want to go out there and perform.
One thing you did mention after the game Thursday, penalties and turnovers and how you want to see them cut down.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple of turnovers. I mean, we threw an interception on the second drive that I thought, I mean, it was a great play call. It was open. We just overthrew it. And on that particular route, if you overthrow it, there's a good chance if they're playing zone behind it that cornerback's going to be in some kind of line to have a path to the ball, and that's what happened. That's just simple, maybe Ike being a little amped up or just being a little late on his delivery, but I watched the film, and his nose was down on the ball. I mean, he threw the ball well. He's just a little late when he released it, so that's an easy fix. We threw a fade, I think, second play of the game that was open that should have been the touchdown, so that's just another part of growing, and, I did a phenomenal job. But on those 2 plays, if you want to pick it apart, I mean, we need to complete the pass in the end zone and the overthrow for a touchdown. That comes off, first-time playoff experience too. I mean, but after those 2 plays, he settled down and did what we wanted to do, and he's really dynamic.
It's been quite a while since the Lions have been in a close game. Any concerns about that going into Friday?
No. We hope that all games are easy for us, but at some point we're going to face some adversity. But we faced adversity, I think. I think that we've been in a preseason that made us work hard and made us fight for wins. No wins were easy. Even going into district, we never felt like we were in a position that you can just let your hair down and party per se. I mean, we felt like we had work to do. Now there was a couple of games that we did, but we've been in that situation. I think we've been in about every situation you can be in a ball game, and our kids have handled every one of them. So I don't think there'll be any panic or fear. when we get in that game that's going to be close, and it's going to happen at some point, whether it's Friday or we're going to be behind and have to come back or battle or whatever that situation may be. But there's definitely no quitting. Our kids, there's no fear. I mean, they're going to be prepared. They're going to have studied, and they're going to do their homework, and they're going to go in to that test and knock that thing out. So I think close ball games, we're going to be just fine, and we just play the next play. I mean, our kids' mentality is good, but it's going to happen. We're going to be in some close games, and probably from here on out.
Of course, the game 7 o'clock Friday in Midland. Tickets available yet?
No, you can't get tickets. No. No, tickets will be. You can purchase tickets just like you did last week. You go to the stadium. There's $7 for adults, $5 for students, and that'll be cash purchases at the gate.
All right. So what else is going on, Coach?
Well, we had girls basketball, played Merkel. Talked to Coach Hortz this morning. I hadn't seen her in a while. Got to talk to her this morning. She felt the girls played well. They were up, in the first half and couldn't hang on to that lead in the second half, but she saw growth. Said she had 18 turnovers the first half and then turned that around and only had 2 the second, so the girls are progressing. I think the little Dean girl led them with 14 points, so that's pretty good production from Hannah.
Yeah.
Pretty good production from a freshman, putting 14 points on the board.
Good volleyball season.
Yeah, she's a good athlete, and they're going to grow. They're going to get better to where they want to be, and they're going to be just fine. But Coach was excited about the way they played and the way they performed throughout the game and how they grew throughout the game. They'll be playing in the Hamilton tournament this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I think their first game's against Sweetwater, if I'm not mistaken, on Thursday. I may be way off, but for some reason I'm thinking they play Sweetwater. Is that right? No. Let me back up.
Yeah.
Just erase all that because I'm crazy at the time.
Rewind.
They play Sweetwater tomorrow.
There you go.
I knew Sweetwater was ringing a bell.
Somewhere.
It's only Monday. Sorry, I'm thinking it's Wednesday. But no, sorry. They play in the Hamilton tournament Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But before that, on Tuesday, we're going to go to Sweetwater and play the Sweetwater Lady Mustangs or the Mares or whatever you call them at 4:30. That's what's going to happen. Then the boys are going to travel Tuesday to Dublin, and they're going to take on the Dublin Lions at 4:30. And then, of course,
So is that a regular season game Tuesdays or still a scrimmage?
That's a game.
The boys? Okay.
Dublin, that's a game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
All
that's
right.
the first game.
Okay.
Yeah, you
that
got
makes
me
sense.
stumped there. I thought you were trying to stump the chump when you did it.
Well,
Again, girls will have that tournament on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Friday, we will travel to Midland, of course, and play Canyon at 7 o'clock, where's all this come from. But then Brownwood will also host on Friday. If you're not going to the Brownwood game, which shame on you if you don't, but if you don't and you want to watch a game, you can go to Gordon Wood Stadium and watch McCamey play Collinsville, and that's going to be at 6 o'clock. The head coach at McCamey used to be one of my coaches as well, so yeah,
so
he
we had a
worked for me
connection.
I got a connection. Worked for me for a long time, but has gone on and has had a great career of his own. So you do have a game to watch in town if you don't have the gas to go to Midland.
All right. So I guess we'll talk a little more about Canyon on Wednesday, kind of break them down.
Okay.
Anything else you want to mention?
Now let's thank those that make this show possible. Auto Glass Magic, Bruner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bond Young, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, Edward Jones Investments, Henrik Medical, Howry Enterprises, Humphrey Peets, Heartland Funeral Home, Landmark Life, MC Bank, Painter and Johnson Associates, Smith and Sharp Agency, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
All right. We will be back Wednesday to talk all about Canyon here on KOXE, KOXE.com, and the KOXE app.
And we'll have a special guest.
Oh, we will?
Yes, he'll be the head basketball coach of the Brownwood Mighty Fighting Lions, Will Parker.
All right.
We'll bring him with us, get us a preview on boys basketball.
Talk a little football and basketball.
That's right.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all Wednesday.
You bet. Have a great day, Brownwood.